Aloha, Carol. How are you today?
Very well. Thank you so much, Tron. I'm
Oh,
excited that we got together today to do this because, you started the self-storage unconference in Hawaii, and I just think it's so amazing, it's such a great event, and I wanted to share it with others. so, I just sometimes I think they don't know. People would think, oh, what are we going to do? Or, I don't know, what are we going to talk about? Storage all day long. But it's a little of both, isn't it?
it
The
is. It's a little bit of both. And I understand some people think, my gosh, that's a long plane ride. Or if they've never been to Hawaii, they think, well, whatever, I've been to a beach before, or if they've never been to an unconference, and sometimes
Yeah.
they can't get around what happens. So I'm so glad to be talking about it with you. And
Yes.
I know you get it. I saw you glowing last time.
Well, and I think that's sort of my idea about learning in paradise is easier and fun. And sometimes it shows. In fact, at the last ISS show, I love ISS and SSA, all of them. But sometimes, when I walked in there were so many people at every booth. I couldn't even say hi to like people I normally would stop and chat with. There was no time. And this, we have time. We have time with people. The interaction is just completely different. And you think, well, we're still going to be in a room together, but the whole vibe of it is so different. But so when you get to not be so rushed, like I'm going from this session to that session to this, it's all in one room there. We all stay together. It was just, so much fun. But and we do need that time with other people in the industry too. You get to make a lot more friends, right? True. It's not just in passing, waving and saying hi. You get to know people, which I think is important to us to do, right?
I mean, the big shows and the big conventions are wonderful, and I try to go to all of them all the time, and they're so valuable. But
Yes.
where this is, it's so different. First of all, I'm kidnapping everyone and trapping them in paradise, and you just can't help but have all kinds of mindset shifts and
Yes.
emotional shifts, and it's just so good
Yeah.
because many times we're just go go go, and when we go to a conference away from work, we're still working.
Yeah.
You get to Hawaii and okay, maybe the first day you might be still a little, acting like a mainlander a little bit,
Right.
but
Yeah.
aloha catches you and
Yes.
start breathing a little bit. And then, I mean, the people who come to this, they come because they love being in paradise with their storage friends, and they really enjoy the deep and wide conversations we have about all kinds of stuff.
Right.
And the time out of the room is so valuable too, because we get to hang out and have a bigger conversation than how things with you. Great, how things with you.
Yeah, I know. I was in the pool and I was like, oh, hello. I was like, but my son's like, do you know everyone? I said, no, these are just storage people. I haven't seen her in years, and stuff like that was happening. So it's really good though, isn't it? The other thing that I think about that is, these learning opportunities, we have a really good slate of what's going to happen. And I think these are really interesting because we've got disruptors. We're going to be talking about that. Fraud prevention, that's my thing. Tax strategies. So, there's a chance for you to interact and, with the speaker. And it's not just like it is a trade show where you feel like, okay, I'm just writing notes or whatever, but you realize that you've got more time. But, talking about the REITs and how to compete against them and that private equity, how do we get that? How can we, make all these deals happen? And, the other thing is automation, because I'm still struggling with automation and trying to get everything as automated as possible, but still give good service.
Yeah.
And finding that balance. But even, you've got conversion science, because that's important too, right? Because those numbers, you have to learn numbers, don't you? I mean, even with me auditing, I know there are key factors and key numbers that I look at to know if there's theft going on. And I think those things are also true of conversion numbers, right? Because there's a science to that.
Yeah. And way we do these sessions is pretty different too. I mean, we've done them different ways, different times, but this time it's going to be even more unconference,
Yeah.
right? So the presenters will have a short period of time to really frame their question or frame their thesis, and then the rest of the time we're going to work it like a brainstorming mastermind session.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we have so much brain power in the room, so much talent and experience that those conversations get so interesting. Up sometimes with a takeaway or a series of aha moments that you wouldn't have expected, and it's just so valuable. And I can tell I'm excited about it. I just started thinking of it. So,
but I think some of the things that we've talked about, and even this last year when I brought that management summary around and showed it to everyone, and 212 complimentary units or whatever it was like, what? I didn't know that could be possible, right? But the things that you learn from others, or learning how to do things, it's just like, and we also, I think what was that, even for this last year during COVID, we still had time to be around each other, and it was just so much different. It's because it's open air, and we had such a nice room that was big, and it allows, if someone's concerned about that, you can certainly wear a mask, right? So we're still covered with that. But I think I've got a couple more on here. The serving the unhoused. That was a nice way to put that, right? People that wanted to live in self-storage, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's that is not touched by an unhoused problem, issue, challenge, whatever you call it.
It is huge for everyone. I can't think of one operator that says, I've never had a homeless person in there, or someone trying to live or work out of there in some fashion. I think the other one that's close to me is the drone imaging, because my son's been doing a lot of that. And Nick, it's been interesting to watch him learn and grow with this, but he's done some fabulous drone work. And I know the people from Storage Pug were telling him, hey, any kind of video will help your, to get a higher ranking. So if I'm thinking, wow, I didn't realize that. Why don't we have more video? But sometimes, it slows things down a bit. You have to really watch the length of time that you have the video and things like that. But still, there are some things like that. And portables, how do we use those effectively? But I've gone in and I've said, here's one of the things we can do with this, and future proofing. We're always trying to do that. We're trying to outthink or thinking outside the box. I've been doing this since 1984. And some of the things that I used to Tron, this is kind of funny, because years ago, I realized, and this was literally about 1984 when I did this, but I got these locks and I started spray painting them red for overlocks. And it was I had to do it on the asphalt and stuff, and I put papers down, but it blew around. So there's red everywhere, and I got it all over me, and just the things that we have now that we take for granted, that we set up procedures wise, it is a pretty amazing thing.
Oh, it's come so far. It's really pretty incredible.
Yes.
And then, you think about the downturns we've all been through. You've been through a few more than I have, but they're not that fun. And we all talk about the next one coming, but then when we're all like, what the heck?
Yeah. Well, and I think we've done a good job in self-storage of going through it pretty easily. Yeah. But there were times, I know that the bankruptcy courts called me, and I've had as many as 5 at one time of stores I've taken over from a bankruptcy court. And I turned them around, and it wasn't that difficult. It was just because the owner didn't know that much. And the small owners especially, they would really, whether you're a large operator or a small operator, this will help you, because there will be information in there that will make you a better owner and operator of storage. So
and we're getting ready to go through another change now. I mean, is the music stop, or are they just going to change the tune? Or this dance is going to change its flavor. This self-storage, it's so good for the last few years. but I think they're getting ready to change the tune, and I don't know what it's going to be exactly.
No, I don't either. You know that it was interesting this last year because Bob Copper was there saying that he operated all his unmanned, completely unmanned. And, you know, that's new for us. I mean, I know there has to be someone on the site to overlock. Well, we're figuring that out too, right?
Yeah.
With technology, because I know my daughter was a store that we had the no-key locks, and they could do all of that from their phone. But it's still, there were times that you need to be able to be there with the customers, and are we losing something because we're not there or not? And those kind of when the interaction happens in the room, I mean, I love that part because Bob was saying, hey, I would never run another one without it. I'm like, there's some stores and I have in bad locations. I have to have someone there. There has to be a person that's watching over the idiots. Our crazy customers or something, right? Because they're,
you know, like any business, we have a few doozies that do business. You know, they take some management.
Yes, it does take management for sure. It's beautiful. Right. In fact, this is interesting because this photo was off the website, but this was like my view from my room last year.
Yeah.
Oh, it was gorgeous. And I could, sometimes I could see my friends down there in the pool. I told Nick, I'm going to the pool. See ya.
It's a beautiful spot. You can't help but have, you know, amazing breakthroughs for your business just because you're sitting in such an amazing spot, and there's so many cool things to do, or just do nothing.
Right.
Great. You know, we've had some people do some amazing adventures, and we people who I'm not sure they ever got out of the pool, but for breakfast, you know. And
yeah, I mean, I have to say, I was probably in the pool talking for hours. I mean, because I thought, well, we haven't seen each other for a while. But, you know, I did put a list of some of the activities that we have going and stuff. But because there's a luau at the hotel. You did sailing, right? And last time wasn't quick enough to get on that. But Mike Richards is going to lead some people also. And he's like a science camp guy. Do you remember him from back in the day? Because he had a software company.
Yes, he had high tech.
Yeah.
For one of the technologies in the business. They created all kinds of breakthroughs at their time.
He sure did. And very smart, isn't he? Super smart guy. But he loves what he's doing, and he's got some great things planned, and also including volcanoes, that's kind of cool, because especially having someone that lives on the island and can show us things, that's even better, isn't it?
It is.
Really fun.
Volcanoes well. His science camp group was down there a couple days ago, and it was glowing like crazy. So.
Yeah, that's going to be neat, isn't it? Yeah, that's awesome. The sightseeing also, if you're interested, I have a store that I built in Hilo. It's now run by StoreQuest, but we had some conventional self-storage, but we also did some industrial and some not retail, but business type of spaces. So we kind of did a mix there.
That would be great for people to see. I hope they take you a lot of up on the offer, because it's wonderful to see. Plus, Hilo's amazing to see if you're on the. It's so different and so beautiful over there too.
You know, they had a flood there one time years and years ago. Have you heard of that? That they had a big tidal wave or whatever. It kind of flooded some stuff, but the islanders are very good about all that, making it through it. The other thing is, one of the things that I know one of my employees want to do is go horseback riding. Yes. So I found a bunch of different places and I sent her the information, but I think it's in the higher country though, isn't it, Tron? It's not like you're on the beach riding the horse. It's grassy areas. It's really beautiful terrain, and that would be really nice.
I think you're up in the high plains of Colorado on a beautiful spring day, but there you see the ocean in the distance.
Yes. And the black beaches, it's so different on the Big Island than on Oahu. It's just gorgeous.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So, the thing is, and I think what I really enjoyed about last time, there were so many people that I hadn't connected with in a long time. And then other people, new people that I met, and it was just so wonderful to have that time. And I was excited to hear that Poppy Behrens might be there. I know she's had some shoulder replacement or stuff. I hope she's still going to go. I think she might. She's a cowgirl. But
I don't think you can keep her down very long.
No, I don't think so either. But she's been in industry a long time too. I know that she and I have been longtime friends. And Terry Lanza from the ISS, that's another great person that's going to be there. And Pam Dominique and Tron. I don't know if you know this, but Pam bought my store in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
right.
We're close now just because of that, because, we became, well, we were friends before that, but we were trying to find someone to buy it. And it was exciting because she's part Hawaiian. So you can, in Hawaii, you need to be a Hawaiian to buy land there, or not all land, but most of the land there, you have to be Hawaiian. So she could actually we were leasing the caves, but she could actually buy them. So that was a pretty neat thing for her. And the owner loved that, the guy that had it. He was really nice. Yeah. So this is a great picture, isn't it? I love this picture because they just look like they're having a ball doing that, right? But that time that we have with other people, including the speakers, because sometimes speakers, people come up and they try to talk to us and they get in a line, and then we depart, or at a show, we've got to get out of there in just minutes, right?
Yeah.
But this is so different. This is so different because the time, you just have more time to sit with someone and talk with them and answer questions and interact with them and help get through things. So you're also trying something new this year, aren't you, with the breakfast?
Yes. So breakfasts last year, well, with COVID, everything was weird, right? So but this year, breakfasts, we're going to do them as round tables. Yeah. So when you're down for breakfast, or arrange it ahead of time if you'd like, but when you come down for breakfast, you can go sit with one of our experts in residence. So for instance, you'll be hosting a breakfast, and then you'll have breakfast vouchers that people can collect from you when they're done. And another great way to have some wonderful conversations about all kinds of neat stuff. So that's going to be really valuable too.
Yeah, and it's really nice out in the open air, the way they have the tables set up there where you're out in the open. I know the birds every once in a while came kind of close to us, but it was fun. It was just really nice to be out there, and the breeze was great. It's not too hot. You still had some covering, so it was really, really beautiful. The other thing is, I think when you're talking about doing all of this, if you're bringing someone else that's not going to the conference, they can go do other things too, right? If it's not at the beach or at the thing, but those King shops that were across the street, I love that place. And I tell you, see Roy's on there? I went to Roy's 3 nights. It was so good. The food was so amazing. And the fish was just, I felt like it just came off the boat. It doesn't even taste the same. Right. Isn't that weird?
That is one of the nice things there is you always get
fresh fish.
Wonderful shops in there too. The wooden shop where they have all the amazing things built from native wood. Jewelry stores. I mean, oh my goodness, so many.
And that ice cream place, because they have the shaved ice, but they also had another ice. I was like, boy, what are those people standing in line for? And it was for ice cream. And we didn't go in it, but several people said, oh my gosh, the best ice cream they've ever had. It was really? Just real smooth. And I was like, well, okay, yeah. And also I have to say, because when I had Waikele self-storage, well, I have 8 stores that I've developed in the islands over the years. And so I used to go every month. Oh my gosh, you think, oh, this is wonderful, until you have to go every month.
Right. That is.
It starts to be work. But the funny thing is that the shopping that I would do, even on Oahu, people would know me in the shops, and they would, they're so friendly. It's just a wonderful, wonderful place. And the Tommy Bahamas, I know that, that's great clothing, and the motorcycle place too. You can rent those. Did you did you see the tricycles or whatever?
Yes, that'd be so cool too.
Yeah. And if you weren't comfortable on just a motorcycle like this, the 3-wheelers would be fun. I saw a lot of those going around because we've got a Jeep, and we went off on some, I'm sure we weren't supposed to, but we did. We were good. I kept telling me, don't break anything. I don't want to have to pay for whatever it is.
That's fun though.
The other thing is the luau. And I think it's just so much culture when you watch what they do and how they do it, and it's just amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing. And so they have a luau Monday nights and Wednesday nights. And, I'm not sure you want to go see a luau every year, but my gosh, if you haven't been for a little while, never been, it's so fun. The food is fabulous, and the dancing and the music.
Yes. And it's so much of their culture that they still practice. I had a girl that worked for me in a Waikele self-storage, and she, when my daughter Alexandra was little, she taught her how to hula in the office. And I was like, wow, you don't think about, but everything moves like a wave, right? Nothing's jerky or anything. But she said, no, feel it like a wave. And it was just amazing, the time that she spent with my daughter and everything. It was really cool. But you also get good cocktails too, right? All those fruity cocktails that have the real fruit, guava and the pineapple and stuff. It's fine. Pineapple out of a can doesn't even taste like it does in Hawaii, does it?
No, it's
the mangoes. It's just totally different, isn't it?
Yes.
It's really.
Taste the sunshine, I think.
Yeah. Exactly. I think is just making sure that people relax and have a good time and realize that we're there to learn, but we're also going to make new friends and learn in a different environment where we, I don't know, just not pushed like I have 5 minutes to get to this other room or whatever, or wait in line to talk to a vendor. That's just not going to happen. So it's
a little bit of a celebration. I mean, we've done some big things creating this self-storage business, and everybody there contributed a little bit to this. And really worth celebrating. We've done quite a thing here.
Yes.
So I'm happy about that.
Oh, me too.
And you talked a little bit about the vendors just for a second. The thing I love so much about this too is that the sponsors are just attendees. There's no separation between everybody.
Right.
Most of the sponsors and vendors are also investors or owners in self-storage.
Yes.
For real.
Yeah.
And who knows more about self-storage than the people who help self-storage owners be successful? I mean, the knowledge they bring is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And, I don't know how many times you've tried to get something done on a project, right? Hundreds, thousands of times.
Yeah.
But it is when you have a friend on the inside.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, here's my issue, right? Oh my God.
And just the fact that in fact, this last week I did it. I called up a couple of people and I said I needed some help. I said, here's what's happening, and Bob Copper was one of them I called, and he was so friendly. He got right back to me and he said, oh my gosh, you're on the right track. I was thinking maybe we could exchange phone numbers too, if you didn't have people's phone numbers. Because I was trying to, or Bob texted me while we were in the session. So he texted me, but then I was trying to talk to somebody else across the room. And I said, isn't that true? We were texting each other during one of the sessions. Well, but because it's just different. You could, right? But it was so interesting. But I thought, I wish I had her number. I would tell her too.
I'll have everybody's numbers so we can.
That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it?
Patient on every level, right?
Yeah, that's true. I was looking at this picture and I was like, where am I? I'm like, oh, there I am. So I put a big come join us because I'm in the picture there, but I was like, oh, it's kind of hidden. But you know what? I think that we work a lot in self-storage and we don't always have that downtime that we would need or want, or we don't take enough breaks sometimes. And we get to do a little of both here. And you can, bring your spouse, and it just makes it so much easier. I'm bringing my kids just because I let them have some time in the ocean and hanging out in Hawaii. So I'm hoping that it helps.
We deserve to spoil ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. That's my theory. That's my theory every day. I try to at least keep that going.
Right.
So, Tron, can you tell us how to get a hold of you or to get all this stuff going?
Yes. So, Hawaii unconference.com, and you can look around there and find everything you need, plus get registered there. Mm-hmm. And if you have not registered yet, use the coupon code Friend of Carol. That Friend of Carol.
Yep.
Off of information. And you can finish it up there. Or you can email me at tjordheim@storehere.com. Or you can text me at 573-268-5217. Send a message through the unConference site. Lots of ways to grab me, but we have sold out more than half of the room blocks so far. So I need people to get their rooms pretty quick, because once they're gone, you do not want to see what the rack rates are for that week.
Yeah, we've got really good rates. And just as some of the people that'll come to my breakfast things, I'm going to be giving out my book that I wrote on auditing.
Awesome.
So they get at least take away something when they leave from breakfast. If I didn't cover it all, because you know how sometimes you get going in a direction, you're like, wait a minute, I missed a whole bunch of other stuff, but it should be fun. And I'm so excited about it, because it's such a rich environment to learn and to relax and not be hustling. Tron, sometimes at the trade shows, I think one of them, I walked 6 miles one day.
Oh, I bet you did.
Yeah, I did 6 because I had to go back up to the room and get stuff and go back down. Because I had a stuff for a booth too. So it was just, I was like, wow, 6 miles. I was like, wow. And this is all close in. It's really easy to get to everything. I was amazed at, it looks like a sprawling resort, but it wasn't hard to get to anywhere, was it? It's not. It's really easy to get where you're going quickly. And I don't know, it's just a really, really great environment to learn and have fun. Both.
As wonderful as it is, if you're looking at that picture, it's just an amazing spot.
Yeah.
And really, just to be on the Big Island is just a crazy experience. There's 11 of the world's 13 climate zones on this one island. It's also the largest island in the United States, bigger than Long Island.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a big island.
It's huge. Yeah, that was the thing even about going over to Hilo, because it is a drive. I mean, it's, take you several hours, but it's a beautiful drive. So it's not like horrible, like you're having to drive some in horrible traffic or anything. It's just the ocean there and everything is just really beautiful.
Well, we look forward to seeing everyone there. I know it's going to be a wonderful time, and we'll have a great experience and come back with all kinds of great ideas and connect new ways of making things happen. And I'm just thrilled that you're a part of it, because George friends for a long time.
I know, long time.
And this is.
When did you start in storage?
It was the fall of 2000.
2000, yeah. That's a good time to start too in storage. Yeah.
And another transition at that point, wasn't it? So
yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Oh yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We may have some of that now. I'm sure we're going to be talking about that as what's to come. Where are we with our supply chain? Everything that does affect us. So I think even talking about that will be interesting to see how, and rates. I know a lot of people are scared to go up on rates, but all of that is just a learning process, right? And that's that data, getting data and understanding the data. So just so much to talk about and learn from at this beautiful resort with some great people too. Thank you, Tron, so much for your time. And I look forward to seeing you. And aloha, huh?
Aloha. And mahalo nui for all of your. Looking forward to seeing you right there at our spot.
Okay.
So
it's a deal. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care now.
Okay. Bye-bye.